Hey y'all, Bloodwing here, back to bring some grumpiness to your internet. And welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream where you get an extra side helping of fried eggs, bacon, and corned beef hash. And I hear somebody,
I like me some corned baked beef hash.
oh boy, Bear just arrived. He told me he was going to be 5 minutes late, which is cool. That's
I
okay.
was 1 minute.
1 minute.
Oof, I moved quickly.
Yeah. Almost didn't hear you there because I've got the stream page open. And of course, I hadn't muted it yet because
Yeah,
can't
I
do
know.
that till you start it. And it started with a really loud ad. So,
Yeah, same. You right, mate? How's it going?
I'm doing fine. Little tuckered. Been a busy couple of days for me. But
Yeah,
yeah, I had to go up to the hospital yesterday for another Doppler.
yeah,
Which was expected to check up on my progress
yeah.
and to get a look at the stent.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was like an ultra. They done an ultrasound on my belly, just like they would a pregnant woman. I'm doing 9 months, but and God, I thought she was going to press that thing all the way to my backbone. She goes, "I'm sorry, I know I'm pressing really hard, but I got to get a good picture of your stent." It's okay. But everything's fine. And then had to drive back up to the hospital this morning to have an appointment with my surgeon, who tells me he doesn't want to see me for 6 months.
Mm.
Everything looks good
Okay,
and
that's
no
good.
restriction. Before I get too carried away, though, I wanted to say happy birthday to Jen. She dropped in at the beginning and left a message in chat that she was on her way to an appointment, but that it was her birthday. So if you're hearing this, Jen, happy birthday. You're one of my favorite people, even if you are Canadian. So and thank you, the Batman. It's Alex in the Brain. Alex in the Brain. One of them's a genius, the other's insane. Notice he didn't say who was who.
Wow. Narf. And happy birthday, Jen.
Yes.
Hope you've
Absolutely.
had or are having a good birthday.
Yeah.
That's some good news about your old ticker there, Mr.
Yeah.
Wing.
Yeah. Yeah. They of course as you all know, it's my goal to just to flirt with the nurses and the technicians and to make them laugh and giggle.
Mm-hmm.
I had her giggling pretty good. It was not the same technician that I had before when I done it. So
Yeah.
I had her laughing pretty good. So other than having to lay there naked from the waist down, I had a good time.
Well, you got to have a bit of a flirt, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I see my sister from another mister in the chat there.
absolutely. Wishing
Mm-hmm.
Jen a happy birthday. And she says she shares a birthday with my ex-husband. Well, we won't hold that against her. Uh, how many butts did I pinch? Batman asked. I didn't pinch any. I keep it non-contact because I don't want to get sued for sexual harassment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep it to the jokes and the wink, wink, nod, nod. Say no more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But how you doing, Bear?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good. I'm wonderful. Thank you very much for asking.
I was wondering who was going to catch that random American quotes, lay there naked from the waist down. I had a good time. Bloodwing 2019. Yeah. What can I say?
Mm-hmm.
But the best news was, and both yesterday and today, I walked all the way into my appointment without my cane.
Ah, awesome.
Now, I was plumb tuckered by the time I got there. I think that's pretty much the limit. at the moment. But 10 years of being pretty sedentary, my leg muscles are probably pretty atrophied. So it's going to take some time to work myself back into being able to get around.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, that's good news. That and the fact that I don't have to see him again for another 6 months. So
That's good news.
yeah. Thank you, Cryptic. Hey, Blood, you got mighty fine lips. Just doesn't have the same connotation as when I say it, and I won't say it
About to
give
say.
to
Oh my
give
God.
Bear a little bit of a break because he doesn't like that.
Right. Why are you down here and why are you fully dressed, boy? What? Please pardon.
Pardon?
That's better. Why are you down here fully dressed? You should be in bed. Woman!
It's
Close my
bedtime,
door, boy.
Alfie.
There we go. He's wandered off.
Yeah, but it's looking good. I'm hoping that sooner or later I can hang up that old cane for good. Because it's a pain in the butt using the thing anyway. But
Well, for at least another few years before you reach your
yeah,
halfway through your 60s.
yeah, and it'll be slow going at first. I've got to get the muscles built back up after so long a time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, looking good. So yeah, everything's good on this end.
That's good news.
Make Mama Minnie, my daughter says, makes traveling to meet possible too. Yippee! Yeah. I should be able to get around a little better. Still stings a little bit when I sit in a driving position. The incision starts to sting for some reason. But I told him about that, and he didn't. The doctor didn't seem to be concerned. So
okay,
he said the incision's looking really good, and all
Sorry,
the
mate.
good possible things.
Back in a sec.
All right. And I can see that Duck Dog is here. Even if I didn't see him in chat, I see our one dislike. Thank you, Owen Harmon. Good to hear you're on demand. Splendid news indeed. Yes, indeed. It's been a long time since I've been able to get around like I want to. But
My apologies, sir.
No problem. Anytime. Family comes first.
Indeed. Indeed.
Amanda says because when you sit at an angle, it cuts blood flow to your lower extremities. Absolutely. It is better. It used to be I could ride in a car maybe 10 minutes and then I couldn't feel my legs and then they'd start to ache. But yeah, pretty much I can get my granddaughters to school all the way across town and get all the way back before I start to ache a little bit. So
yeah,
it's getting better. Be yelling at the kids for a good long time yet. I hope so. And it's looking pretty possible. My wife also had a doctor's appointment today. We had to go in separate cars because we both had an appointment at the same time at different doctors. So I had to go in my dad's van again today. Her outlook, however, is not so good. So for the first time in a long time, her diagnosis was much worse than mine. And so I just stuck my tongue out at her and said, yeah. But yeah, she's got the diabetes, high blood pressure, all that crap going on.
Yeah.
Doctor's not happy with her. She's not been taking care of herself.
Did the doctor whoop her ass?
Probably not, but he should have. So yeah, how's everybody in the chat doing? Hope everybody's doing well. And before I forget, please like and share the screen. The screen. Lord have mercy. Please like and share the stream because YouTube's not going to. And if you'd like to go a step further and help an old man out, there is Super Chat and there's also links to my Streamlabs and Patreon in the description.
Indeed. Support the old man, guys. He needs it.
Yeah.
for new canes when he eventually needs to use them again.
Yeah, I seen that, Amanda. Your Twitter banned again. Double banned. I'm sorry to hear that, sweetheart. I'm surprised it's not happened to me yet, but honestly, comparatively to a lot of you guys, I'm pretty tame on Twitter. I let my steam out on YouTube.
That's where it belongs.
Yeah, I don't get involved in too much trouble on Twitter.
Well, I mean, yeah, I got a little bit of trouble.
Yes, you did, you naughty boy.
Yeah, it was only a 12-hour
Yeah.
brief suspension. And thank you, Owen Harmon, for sending me that link. I've just grabbed it, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And it is. People are probably sick of me saying this, but it's Mental Health Awareness Week in the UK now, and has been since Sunday. And I think I can hear Veeb getting annoyed with Alfie. It's Mental Health Awareness Week, and I have started making content that talks about that kind of thing, and released something earlier where I interviewed one of ours, James Colley, who you often see in Lords of the Night chat and Breakfast with Bear chat.
Yeah.
And it's a very interesting story that he told me, and I'll make sure to, of course, shill that at the end of the stream.
Yeah. Of course.
Mm.
Kyler says I somehow managed to pull something in my back while sleeping Saturday night. Screw getting old. I'm telling you, my mom's favorite saying was, getting old is not for sissies.
Mm.
And the older you get, the more you realize that's true. That is absolutely true. Been kind of trying to keep my eyes out for Diesel Dave in the chat, because last stream he and I kind of went back and forth just a little bit, and I'm hoping he wasn't offended and comes back, because that's what I'm all about. I believe we can disagree, but yet still get along.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, yeah,
in fact, I'm gonna pull up the tweet that I quoted and got in trouble for, which I believe was from Theresa May. Oh, she's done a few. Oh, okay. She's done a few things on the Mental Health Week here in the UK. Oh God, yeah, and also I see Peter Ullman there in the chat. He has sent me something. Was that meant to be for the stream, mate? By any chance? Yeah, I got in, the reason. I think the reason why I got in trouble was because I called Theresa May an old hag.
That maybe might do it.
It may have been that, or when I quote tweeted Stephen Fry after I realized there were people suggesting that him doing the A-OK hand symbol was a dog whistle. I mean, he did pretty much address it straight away before anyone said anything. But
yeah,
I quote tweeted him saying, if anybody thinks that is the case, then they are a piece of shit. I think that may have been it.
Yeah, that's so stupid. I mean, all the evidence is there for anybody who wants to look, that was a 4chan thing that they started up, and people just some people are just so willing to see evil all around them that they just jumped right on it.
But, yeah, of course, they fucking did. Of course they did. Better Twitter jail than real jail. But yeah, I know. But I feel like Theresa May started virtue signaling about Mental Health Week, which I find amusing, because it's her government that is responsible for a fair amount of the mental health issues in this country, with austerity measures that David Cameron applied before her that she chose not to reverse. She's tweeting out things like, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever abuse you've been suffering from, the abuse at the hands of the government, you will have access to services to help you and keep you safe. Well, that's not actually true at all.
Right.
Our mental health services are grossly underfunded in this country. So,
as well as this one, I mean, that's one of the areas that is sorely lacking in attention, is our mental health system here in the United States. And we all know if you're an American, they're just as likely to because they need the beds, kick people out into the street
Yeah, yeah.
before they're healthy. Hey, Pat, good to see you, buddy. Excuse me. A little bit of a throat tickle today.
There's another tweet that Theresa May put up, and it's last night we lit Downing Street green to mark the start of Mental Health Awareness Week. We must all work together to make sure that looking after our mental health is as natural and positive as looking after our physical health. You know, I get what she's trying to do here. She's trying to destigmatize it. But lighting up 10 Downing Street green, which I know is the color that we've chosen for this particular issue, that's not helping anybody. And I don't believe that you care, Theresa May. I'm sorry, but I don't.
I
just
am
don't.
skeptical, he says.
It's more cynical, if anything.
Furry Kitten says, why green? I'm colorblind. This triggers my anxiety.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure there's like a green ribbon for mental health. Let me just look it up real quick. I'm sure it may be a bit narrower than that. The green ribbon is the international symbol for mental health. Okay. I thought it was a bit more narrow than that, but no. Yeah, the green ribbon and the color green is for mental health awareness.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. I know, right? It's not me. It's everybody else. Sorry, I was trying to read a chat there. You know, I can't do two things at the same time.
Read it out loud.
Well, John Connor, the USA mental health system has been being cut since 1984. They started closing treatment facilities in 1988. And yeah, I'm very aware of that. That's part of the reason I made the comment that I did. Thank you, the Batman. Daenerys Targaryen lit up a few of the streets in King's Landing Green too. Wait, is Theresa May a dragon? I don't know, but she sort of resembles one.
Call her the Crow.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody bag that she is. Yeah. Oh, there was something else I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember because you read a super chat now. Tommy Robinson was taken to the Old Bailey today.
Yeah, I seen something about that. I was so busy today, I haven't had really time to look into it, but I did see it in passing.
I just have an article here, if that's all right, if I go through it, yeah?
Sure.
Cool beans. Tommy Robinson faces new contempt case. And I think that was the whole purpose of this, really. Because, as you know, the European MEP elections are on the 23rd of May.
Right.
And I'm fairly sure if they brought this back, this contempt of court charge, then he wouldn't be able to run. Whether he actually faces any prison time for it is going to be a different story. Personally, I feel like they just did it just to knock him off the ballot. Of course. Can anyone guess how this article starts? It's about Tommy Robinson. Former EDL leader Tommy Robinson is to face fresh contempt of court proceedings. High Court judges ordered a new case be brought against him over allegations he could have prejudiced a jury involved in a criminal trial last year. The 36-year-old from Luton was jailed for 13 months in May 2018 for filming and broadcasting footage of people involved in the trial. But that finding was quashed in August after he won an appeal. In a brief ruling at the Old Bailey, the judges said that the full case would go ahead on 4th and 5th of July. The allegations concern a Facebook broadcast by Mr. Robinson, whose real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon. There it is. I thought they'd missed it, but they didn't. They didn't. Don't worry. you can all sit down. Which was watched by thousands of people. He was jailed on the day by the trial judge at Leeds Crown Court. but that was quashed by the Court of Appeal after it ruled that his case had been unfairly handled. Mr. Robinson, who is standing for election as an MEP in the European elections later this month, was released after serving 2 months of his sentence. The case was referred back to the Attorney General Geoffrey Cox, who announced in March that there were strong grounds to bring new proceedings against him, except for there isn't. Because it's perfectly okay when the mainstream media breach those gag orders, isn't it? You know? After more than 6 months of complex legal delays, Lady Justice Sharp said the trial for contempt, which carries a maximum sentence of 2 years, should go ahead. She said reasons for the decision would be given at a later date. Yeah, we know what your reasons are. It's to knock him off the bloody ballot. That's what it is. Mr. Robinson's supporters, who had gathered outside the Old Bailey, booed and chanted "Shame on you" after it was announced. And that's the end.
I thought that was all over. I really did. And of course, I'm not as up to date on stuff that happens in the UK as you probably are in the stuff that happens in the US.
Yeah.
But I thought that was all over long before now. Sarek Limke, I work in and a part of mental health. Well, good on you. Good.
Awesome. Work in that field is sorely needed.
It is.
Sorely needed.
But yeah, I thought it was done. But these are fresh charges?
I don't know they're fresh. I guess it's just like round 2 of the same charge.
I got you.
Because it was mishandled last time.
Okay. Now it's making more sense.
I mean, that was why he was released in the first place from prison, because they mishandled it.
Right. Yeah. Now it's making more sense.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think he's gonna be able to run as an MEP at this point.
Maybe not. Maybe not. They might get their wish on that one.
Yeah, I think that was the entire purpose of them doing it in the first place, bringing it up now to stop him from becoming, potentially becoming a part of the establishment.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find a different article that has a bit more information, but I don't. There's most mainstream media outlets are only broke the news around 2 hours ago. So
sorry, guys, you're probably going to hear me cough just a little bit and clear my throat now and again. Like I said, I've got a little bit of a throat tickle. The weather here has been stupid. It just been like yesterday. I had to have the furnace on. It was cold, and the day before, and today it's in the 70s, which is very pleasant, very nice. But it plays havoc on my sinuses. So,
I forgot to say, when you try and copy something and it doesn't actually bloody do it, that's so annoying. Oh my God.
I've run across that once or twice.
You try and copy something from an article when it bloody links a whole bunch of other stuff in there with it. You just like, I just want to get one like sentence. You ball bag. Yeah, it did it again. It does this when you're trying to like copy stuff from articles and you try to put it in your script.
FC 260 rats, I may lose you, bloodwing and bears. Severe thunderstorms are getting near my location. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. But I tell you, I lived in the American Midwest, so I know all about severe thunderstorms.
Apparently, Tommy Robinson got back on Twitter today and then was booted back off.
I mean, I'm not laughing because I mean, it's an ironic kind of laugh, if you will.
No, I know what you mean. You had this account called Tell Mama UK, basically tag Twitter, grassing him up, saying, "Hi Twitter, Stephen Yaxley Lennon, aka Tommy Robinson, is back again using a similar Twitter handle to his previous suspended accounts. Please amend and remove." You bloody minge bags! He's an MEP candidate. Yeah. Oh my God! Tell Mama, what is this? Measuring anti-Muslim attacks.
Anti-Muslim attacks.
Oh my God.
All right. I mean, outside of New Zealand, which is far more complicated of a situation than some of you are making it. Show me the anti-Muslim attacks, and then I'll show you the ones that are committed by the Muslims. So,
The Muslims in Sri Lanka are currently getting wrecked by those evil Easter worshippers.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Oh my God.
yeah. Violence is never the, and I've said this before many times, and I'll keep saying it. Violence is never the answer to a disagreement, people, regardless of which side you lay on. So, yeah,
I agree. But yeah, Tommy was back on Twitter for probably an hour or two before this account went crying. And of course, if you type Tommy Robinson's new Twitter handle, which obviously he won't be using now, but if you type that into the Twitter search bar, you can see all the little spurgs showing up in the results.
oh my gosh, we can't let him talk. It always hey Vibersword, it always amazes me when people want to shut down someone else. You know, yeah, I poke a lot of fun at snowflakes. I poke a lot of fun, but I've never advocated shutting them down just because I disagree with them. I don't want you to shut them down. What would I'd have nothing to do on Twitter if you did, or on YouTube. But oh God, we can't let them talk. What do you I hate people, but you seem to have less of an opinion of human beings than I do. If you think, oh my God, they can't hear this viewpoint because it'll sway them. Oh my gosh, it'll make a bunch of Nazis.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of pearl clutching. And you don't get to see chaos on that usually comes from those kinds of people.
Yeah. I prefer to no matter how stupid and outlandish and how offensive it is to me. And yeah, I've seen things that are offensive to me. Of course I have. When I see people denying the Holocaust, that's offensive to me. That's not because of my grandfather was Jewish, which he was, but because that is an outright disregard of history. And you're stupid. And I hate stupidity. But I don't want to shut them down. I'd rather them air their viewpoints so everybody can see how stupid it is and make up their own mind.
Yeah, it winds me up. You're treating people like they're freaking children.
Exactly. You said it shorter than I did. And yes, Toasted Network, I have Jewish blood in me. I'm not Jewish, but my maternal grandfather was a German Jew. Yeah. So.
Yeah, there you go. God, this account is just cancer. Nigel Farage forced to admit claim about black people when Oldham was false. What? They just share a bunch of garbage. They're actually complaining. Apparently, this is on Tommy Robinson's MEP candidate, mandate. Tommy Robinson election leaflet appalling. I am with the people, the families who have suffered from Muslim rape gangs. All right. What?
Yeah, like what?
Seriously, you want to use this as an election point? Well, I mean, why wouldn't he? As if Muslims do not care that young children have been abused. Well, if they did, then there would be a lot more, outrage from the Muslim community in Great Britain. And I'm afraid there just isn't. This is truly the pits.
Yes, it is.
If you say so.
Yeah, how dare we have freedom of speech and religion, and so on, and so forth.
Yeah. It's kind of the point, like you sat there complaining about it, but you just booted him off the platform, so people are just gonna be more curious now. Yeah, but like, oh, what's he got to say then if he's
Right.
so controversial?
They're just making it more appealing by trying to ban it and outlaw it. Oh well, I want to check it out.
Mhm.
RJ Bansma, I got root beer. Gimme. I like a good root beer. I do. Of course, there's no real root beer anymore because they had banned sassafras root because it caused cancer like everything else.
Sorry, Godfrey Twos just decided to come at me again on Twitter, and I must respond.
That's all right. Well, while we had a pause, I thought I would address the subject in my title. Goodnight, Doris and Tim. As many of you probably know, we've lost a couple of icons from years gone by. Definitely icons from my childhood, Doris Day, and today, Tim Conway. It probably won't mean as much to you younger guys out there. Those names may not even strike a chord with you. But they certainly had a lot to do with my childhood. Doris Day was a very lovely lady, very lovely singer. I mean, who hasn't heard her song "Que Sera Sera"?
Que sera, sera.
Exactly. And I always appreciated her because she always gave forth a very wholesome image, both in her movies and her private life. And she was an absolutely gorgeous woman, even up until her elder years. She lived a good long life, 97 years old. They said she was in very good health up to the end until she caught pneumonia, which seems to be a killer of a lot of elderly people.
Yeah. It what I see in the news anyway. Excuse me.
But yeah, if you've never seen a Doris Day movie, please do yourself a favor and go check out her movies. And then, as I said, today was Tim Conway, who, in my opinion, is one of the funniest men ever. He was an absolute genius at physical comedy. Gave me hours upon hours of enjoyment. Appeared in a lot of things, but probably is most famous for being part of the cast on the Carol Burnett Show. And he made it his business to try to crack up the rest of the cast while they were doing skits. And he was very good at it. Very good at it. Absolute legend. And will be sorely missed. If you don't have any idea who Tim Conway is, look up old episodes of Carol Burnett on YouTube. They're everywhere. They are everywhere. Evil One, yes, I've seen it many times. Tim Conway's dentist skit. He particularly would. That one is very good. I think my favorite, however, is the outtake of the elephant skit that he did with Carol Burnett, with oh my gosh, what is her name? Played Mama, and Dick Van Dyke. But yeah, absolutely will be missed. As I recall, he said that he was 85 years old. Yes, the Apple Dumpling Gang, with Don Knotts.
I just shared my quote tweet and fuck off Toasted.
Thank you, random Vicki Lawrence. I don't know how my brain missed Vicki. She's another absolute legend, as Mama in particular, but as a lot of things. And if you've ever watched the clip of the outtake of what's called the elephant skit, She completely owned them all at the very end. And it's from what she said that actually pretty much made it an outtake. It could not air even today. But it is on YouTube.
Right, Bloodwing, I have to get everything out of my mind before I forget.
Okay.
Life's Greatest Questions, a YouTube channel with 1.2 million subscribers. The entire channel was demonetized yesterday or the day before. Just no reasons. Well, YouTube gave their reason, but that was supposed to be for misleading thumbnails. By the way, it's not. They don't have misleading thumbnails on that channel. I mean, they can get a little bit clickbaity, and the videos they make is a little bit, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't break YouTube's terms of service in any way, shape, or form. That channel, not a controversial channel. The entire thing completely demonetized. And what's messed up is that channel isn't just a YouTube channel owned by one person. It's a small business. There are employees that work for that YouTube channel because it's a brand. And YouTube's they demonetized the entire channel. They came back with them and tried to tell them that the reason for it was because of misleading thumbnails. And then there have been no they've tried to contact YouTube. You think being a 1.2 million subscriber YouTube channel, you'd have a direct line to YouTube, and they haven't come back and told them. Haven't come back to clarify, or isn't working with them to try and get the monetization back, which I personally think is disgusting.
Yeah. At this point, we shouldn't be surprised, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen other channels that of all different genres it happened to.
Right.
It happened to a commentary YouTuber. Oh, I don't know what he does now. It's been a long time since I've watched him. Mama Max. How big is Mama Max now? Let me have a quick gander. I used to watch him when he first started out. He used to do like these animated videos about mental health, which are bloody fantastic. Yeah, Mama Max has 241,000 subscribers. I think he's I don't know what he does now.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with it.
I'm just looking for his channel. I'm going to put him in the commentary genre, but he doesn't do response videos by the looks of it. He seems to he's removed some of his content, I think. Anyway, he got completely demonetized. There was no need, no reason for that. So, and I think he got his monetization back though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did. I think I'd have to go check his Twitter. He hasn't made content in a little while, so I wonder whether it left a sour taste in his mouth. Oh yeah, and the other thing, where is it? There it is. Okay, so you must have heard about the 14-year-old girl who's had a hit piece written on her by written about her.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm not familiar with her, but I've seen it. Yeah.
Well, she goes by the name Soph. The channel name is Soph. She started off on YouTube as a edgy commentary channel. She used to make response videos to like a gaming backdrop. She used to go by the name as Lieutenant Corbis back in day, and she was promoted by Keemstar and Pyrocynical as a kind of like self-aware, very edgy, very sweary 11-year-old girl. I think she started when she was 9. Actually, she's 14 now. Well, after Lieutenant Corbus, she moved on to the channel Soph, and she makes very, very, very edgy social commentary videos. I don't think she makes responses, but she makes comedy skits with a lot of satire in there.
Right.
And she pushes the boundaries, dude. She really pushes the boundaries. She always has done, to be fair. She's quite a very intelligent little girl. And of course, BuzzFeed found out who she was and wrote a hit piece on her. And the hit piece is actually quite long, and I've already read it. I don't want to have to read through it again, but I will share Nick Monroe's tweet, which does have the BuzzFeed link. So if any of you want to go check that out, the link is there in the chat. And apparently she's got some more strikes. She's received a few strikes on her channel. She's must have received at least one today. I'm gonna have to go to her Twitter account. Oh my god. There are many more people who simply want to preserve the ability to be bigoted on private platforms, Joe Bernstein. I think that's the guy that's currently attacking her right now. Kill a straight white man on your way to work tomorrow, Joe Bernstein. That is Nick Moreau pointing out the hypocrisy from this BuzzFeed shit, which you can see in the second link I just put there. I'm gonna have to go to her Twitter real quick. Yeah, she's a very, very edgy girl. She even tweeted at the author, Joe Bernstein, saying, "I cannot thank you enough." Oh dear. And I think he doxed her as well in the process. I don't know. I'm not sure. But a lot of big conservative commentators are standing up for her, so that's good. I'm very happy about that. I may make a video on this.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But just real quick for it, and I will get back. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. I did want to say a specific good night to Doris Day and Tim Conway. Like I said, I know many of you have no clue or maybe don't care, but they were both a very huge part of my childhood. So, yeah, they'll be missed.
Rest in peace.
Yep.
Sorry, I've dominated most of the stream, haven't I?
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. We've gone back and forth, and I know how to shut you down. I have access to the mute button.
Don't do that.
I'm only in a have-to case.
I'm a PPOC, a poor person of color. Or no, I'll reword that. Poor person of caramel.
Yeah. Yes, Jack Gunsey, Tim Conway he absolutely is. And even by today's standards, I believe he would be found hilarious. If you've never watched Tim Conway, do so. There are old clips of their show all over YouTube. And Hunt for the Elephant skit, especially, it'll be worth your time. It's just absolutely comedy gold. But yeah. So did we have any news today, Bear?
We did have news, but I was quite happy just to have a chin wag.
Sure.
For a bit.
Yeah. And we can do that, continue to do that if you want to. Sure.
Yeah. I just I'm a little bit frustrated with the mental whatever division it is of people, the biggest charity or whatever, whoever decides it is that the theme of each mental health week is every year. Because this year it's been decided by the powers that be, because I can't remember the organization that does decide what it's going to be is. I did see it. I just have a brain like a colander. But yeah, the theme is body image, and I just don't think that that's the most pressing mental health issue that we're currently dealing with in society. I mean, it is an issue, but I don't think it's the most pressing. Ow. In my opinion, I mean, what are your thoughts?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
What was it last year? I'm just trying to find out what it was last year. What about anxiety, depression? Well, that's exactly where I'm going with this. I'm just trying to find out what last year's was, because this year's body image. And I just don't think it's as pressing as the other issues that we're currently dealing with. I mean, the suicide rates are still pretty high. I mean, I think they have actually slowed down a little bit in the UK anyway. I can't speak for America. I've not looked at American statistics in a while.
Right.
Ever since I did like my first ever like men's MRA videos. So body image though.
Well, body image, I'm not a big fan of. Told you I was going to have to clear my throat a lot. It's blown way out of proportion, because there's something you can do about that, folks. Comparatively, there's very few people that are fat or what have you, because that's usually what we see is people, picking because fat and body shaming and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But they can do something about it. Yes, I understand there are people that medically can't, but they're not the majority. I had the opposite problem growing up. I was such a skinny runt, man. I come out of high school. I graduated high school. I probably weighed 120 pounds soaking wet and had a 28-inch waist. I was a rail, and I hated it. I wanted to be bigger. Of course, a few years down the road, as I grew up, I realized, well, that's just the way I'm built. I'm not able to do any more than that. Of course, I wished I could weigh that now. And my waist is a whole long way from 28 inches now. But yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand it, but there's something you can do about that. If it really bothers you enough, most of you can change that. I mean, that's the way I see it.
Sorry, I'm just responding to Spastic Boy. There we go. Body image obviously doesn't just include your weight. It includes how you see yourself and various aspects of your facial structure and how you generally look. And I know a great deal of pressure comes from obviously your friends. Obviously young people have image and identity issues because you develop your identity over time, and for some people that's more intense than others. It's how you look. It's obviously when you're in school and stuff, like kids are little bastards and will take the piss out of you for anything, won't they?
Well, yeah.
And of course, when you're young, you don't really have, like most don't really have that kind of like thicker skin. At least when I was growing up, a lot of people didn't have thicker skin.
No.
So they let that stuff get to them, and that could be a number of things. It's not just a case of being fat or too skinny. You could have messed up teeth. You could have a messed up nose. Maybe you've got them crazy eyes. Maybe you've got a hoofing monobrow.
I'm not I don't believe that I'm an ugly guy. And you've all, well, a lot of you, I know Bear has seen that picture of me when I was 17 with the long hair. There was a reason for that long hair, was to cover my ears that stuck out like a Volkswagen going down the road with both doors open. I was very self-conscious about them. And they were always the first thing that all the bullies went after. If I had a nickel for every time on a cold day somebody flipped my ears, I'd be a rich man. And my teeth were very bad. I was actively seeking to get false teeth by the time I was 18 years old. I was very self-conscious of them. And if you look at any old pictures of me, I never smile more than just a grin. I don't show my teeth when I smile, because I was very self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe not everybody's capable of it, but I got over it, and I figured, hey, this is the way I look. You're going to have to deal with it. And I had some pretty hot looking girlfriends. I'm telling you, at one time I dated the reigning Marion County queen, which is only a county contest, Marion County fair queen. But they're the prettiest girl of the county. And about a year later, I dated the runner-up to the Miss Ohio. So yeah, I had some good-looking girlfriends, and it wasn't because of the way I looked, but it was because of my personality and my attitude. I was confident. Bjorn, you're right. Well, half right. I don't have any teeth on the top. Well, I do have teeth, but they're store-bought. But they do belong to me. They're my teeth.
But I would also say, like, I think the body image thing has been around for a long ass time.
Oh,
a long ass time. When I was a kid, and that was what 15, 16 years ago. There was the impossible beauty standards of the supermodels, which everybody knew were just anorexics wandering around, but it still created issues,
right.
among young girls and stuff. I don't remember there being many body image issues with guys when I was a kid. I think there are now. In fact, I know there are now. There's plenty of documentaries on Netflix that you can go watch, where there are guys having like plastic surgery so they can have pectorals, big pecs, instead of going to the friggin' gym and forking out thousands for that kind of stuff. Which is, there are obviously potential dangers to that kind of thing. Even the guys now are getting like friggin' Botox and shit. It's like, what? You look worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not a fan of plastic surgery. I mean, there are legitimate cases for plastic surgery. I almost had to go through it. I mentioned on Twitter just recently because Reading Ren's husband, Igor, burnt his hand, I guess, with some hot grease and burned it pretty bad. And I shared a story with him where I had a car radiator blow up in my face. And had second and third degree burns on my face, in my scalp, inside my ears, on my right hand. And I come a hair of having to have skin grafts. But fortunately didn't have to go through all that. But and now I forgot where I was going with this line of conversation. Don't get old, folks. You forget what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's where I get it from. This is how I know you're actually my biological dad, because there are too many bloody things that are similar.
Yeah.
Start talking. Forget where you were. Yeah, last year, 2018, for World Mental Health Day, the theme was young people and mental health, which can still be kind of applied to this year, seeing as it's body image. I mean,
yeah.
I
remember now. I remember now. I'm
Mm.
sorry. I remember now. It's there are legitimate cases for plastic surgery. If I'd have had to do that, then to cover up the burns, then that's one thing. But people, because they want to look younger, or their lips are fuller, or get over it. Because 9 times out of 10, they look like a monstrosity when they're done.
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord have mercy.
I mean, most of them they're Hollywood actors and actresses, and they just look ridiculous.
Oh,
all lips puffed out, all their cheeks puffed out. They look like bloody sex dolls. And I agree. Yes, with Furry Kitten, reconstructive surgery should be classed as a different thing.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be classed as plastic surgery, even though it is technically the same branch of medicine or whatever. Yeah, it should be kept separate, because reconstructive surgery is a different ball game.
Although we were talking about being self-conscious during the time that was healing, that burnt, my face being burnt, my head. For weeks, my skin peeled, because of the burn.
Yeah.
And I went to an outdoor concert that was in the neighborhood. It was at the local Legion, and went there. It was a bluegrass concert, free, outside. And I went there and laid out my blanket. I didn't stay long though, because I looked around and there was a poor little girl about 3 or 4 years old that took one look at my face and started screaming and crying. I scared her. I'm like, oh, I feel like such a schmuck. I'll go. Yeah.
Oh God. I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, the body image stuff. I think it's probably affecting guys now more. You have all these, vanity, or what I would call vanity shows on TV, and of course you have Instagram and stuff, and it's just, no.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. And this is coming from the outlook of an old guy. I think a lot of that body image stuff, a high majority are young people. You know,
Mm.
because as you get older, you tend to learn to live with it. Hey, this is just the way it is.
Sorry, I'm having a discussion with somebody. I'll tell you who after. Mm. Yeah, the body image stuff is pretty crazy. I mean, I understand where it comes from. I know why it happens. I'm just surprised that we've somehow chosen body image as the issue this year, especially when we had young people last year. Which I imagine it probably affects them disproportionately so. I mean, I'm not saying that, you can't be a 20, 30, 40, 50 plus guy or gal with body issues and have that body dysmorphia disorder. But I imagine it's probably affecting them, the young uns, because they care about the image a lot more than older people certainly do for the most part anyway.
Yeah.
I would say that's overall. It's probably just a guess on my part, but yeah. But I'm obviously having my own little mental health week on my second channel this week, where I'm speaking to different people about different things. James Colley's.
You should.
Yeah, James Colley's in the chat there. He's a guy with his own unique experiences. Thank you again, by the way, James. I did monetize that video. I don't want to benefit from that video. At the end of the day, he was the one who did most of the talking, and he told his story. And I recommend people do go give that a watch. I thought he was very brave to tell his story. And I'm going to be interviewing a couple of other people as well and hear their unique stories. I'm going to cover a celebrity who I've chosen, who tragically killed themselves. And I think I'm still oohing and ahhing about this bit of drama that I saw.
Yeah.
I was sent a video by Hey Dude 77. I don't know if he's in the chat or not. It's this guy having a crack at Boogie after Boogie. Like he made an entire video responding to one of Boogie's tweets. I'm like, really, dude? A single tweet? And he was really aggressive about it as well. Like he was calling Boogie every name under the sun, calling him an idiot. Don't get me wrong, Boogie's advice wasn't the best. And it wasn't specifically directed at any particular group of people suffering from an individual type of mental illness or anything. And I do think it was a bit flagrant, would probably be the word. But the response that he got, I didn't think was deserving. And I personally feel that they were both wrong. So I might make a video correcting them both.
All right.
Yeah, he was very aggressive.
And yes, John Connor, I do remember Mr. Atlas on the back of the comic books. It always had a little cartoon of the bully kicking sand into this skinny guy's face and all that. And then the skinny guy goes off, does his workout routine and comes back and gets revenge. Yes, I remember those.
Speaking of mental health, mate, got our first men's mental health meeting tomorrow.
Well, cool.
Yes. Tomorrow from 12:30 for 2 hours.
Absolutely cool.
If
I seem a little distracted, it's because I gotta pee like really bad. So I gotta go.
Hey, you made it an hour.
I did.
Yeah.
Keep him busy for a minute, Bear.
I will. I'll keep him busy. Everybody take your pants off and pull your socks up. It's fucking irate bear time. Oh, good Lord. What's up, guys? What's happening? I hope you're all well. Hope you had a nice weekend. Also, the missus told me the bloody kids break up from school again next week. They just had 2 weeks off for Easter. It's ridiculous. Having another bloody week off from the 24th, I think it is. RJ Bands said, "All right, how you doing? I'm not too bad, thank you. I'm not too bad. How are you?" Peter's already. He's a good boy. He's one step ahead. Viper's like, nope. Are you sure Jess Phillips won't put a stop to that meeting? Don't worry, it's unlikely. At the end of the day, it's not a government-funded thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is in the way that there's a person who works for local council that's helping us set it up, but there's no funding. We're not using any taxpayers' money. At the end of the day, I'm volunteering. The guy I'm working with is volunteering. The place that we're doing it in, it has volunteered his space, his business for us to chill out in for 2 hours. And no, I wasn't ignoring you, EVL1. I did see what you said. I was getting to it. You impatient shit. You can have my story if you want. I've got 1, 2, 3 people that I'm going to interview, and I've already got those guys. So I'm not going to have any more than that, but I do appreciate it. Not wearing any pants. Good boy, Batman. Good boy. Take your pants and jacket off. But pull your socks up. Pull your socks up. Kids don't spend enough time in school. I know, right? I know, right? Yeah, I'm going to be Viper's volunteered to be one of my subjects to interview for a video. And I've also got somebody else who's in the chat as well. I don't know whether he wants to raise his hand. And there's another person as well that I want. And then that's it. As there are 2 other videos that I want to. I don't want them all to be, or maybe 3 other videos. I don't want them all to be interviews, because interviews are quite long. Yeah. What a weeb fag. Fuck off. There he is. He's come back. He's returned to us.
I am back. Sorry about that. That one hit like out of nowhere, a ton of bricks. I was fine, and suddenly I had to go now. And that's all I could think about. Like, don't pee yourself, old man.
We'll have to get you a catheter, mate.
I tell you what.
Donate to the Get Bloodwing a catheter fundraiser, guys. You can do that by
only if you get enough money to get a nurse to do it for me, because I'm not shoving a tube up my wiener. I'm sorry.
Well, they can do it via belly button.
That doesn't sound any better.
Well, I mean, what would you prefer? A tube going in your belly that's a lot cleaner and reduces the potential for water infections, and it's a lot easier to change. Or a dick, a tube in your dick, a dick in your dick, effectively.
I don't know. I'm kind of a fan of having as few holes in me as possible.
Well, you're getting old, mate. You ain't got much choice.
I know. I'm just hoping my mind goes before I get in too bad a shape, and that way I won't know the difference.
Oh, Jason Byrne, you had both at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh. Demon Lord, hi, all right. Did you forget that long list of anime selections? You didn't tweet anything at me. I gave you my Twitter account. Yeah, I received no notification, dude. And Michael Weiner comes up with the fantastic hashtag catheters for Bloodwing.
Yeah,
I think we can make it happen, guys.
Yeah, there you go. Got my own hashtag. Dadgum. The Batman, it's worse when you're busting for a crap, but it takes over an hour before you can actually have one. Haha, joke's on you. I had one right before the stream. So
yeah, so that's all the stuff I want to say about mental health, really. I'm just wondering whether Sophie's going to be able to keep her channel, because I think she's received at least 2 strikes. She has 1 more and she's gone.
Yeah.
Which isn't very good. I don't think that you'd like her content. I get the feeling that because you're like, your grandpa, you'd be trying to reach out to smack her upside the head. Like, she's 14, but she still looks about 11. Right? So I could definitely see you trying to reach out and give her a good backhanding. But yeah, she's very, very edgy. Very edgy. Very, very edgy.
If nothing else, I'd probably want to smack her like, watch your mouth. Language.
Yeah, Viper, her uploads have been intermittent at best. And I know she's on BitChute. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware she's over there. I'm aware. literally taking the piss out of an old man
Hey,
online.
that's okay, because I can take it. People, if you ain't figured it out by now, I can take it as well as I can give it, and I can give it pretty freaking good. Trust me.
Yeah, I've had the misfortune of being in a private Discord voice chat with both Bloodwing and J-Kid. I mean, most of it came from J-Kid, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but you get the two of us together, look out, because we play off of one another.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to, and you won't know what this game is. It's a lot of people in America don't know what it is. It's kind of a Midwestern game. It's a card game called euchre, but you do not want to play against J Kid and I on euchre. We will own you because we think just alike and we know what each other's doing. We use.
By the way, just to let you know, mate, Michael Weiner has officially started the hashtag on Twitter. So, guys, go get involved. There's the link.
If when he was married, when Jake, his ex-wife, we would come over, and euchre is a team game. It's two people against two people, card games, and it would be guys against the girls, and we'd make them so mad because we would honestly try to lose. You have to start the hand, you have to call trumps, and the rule is you have to have at least one card of that type. Like, for instance, if you call hearts trump, you have to have a heart in your hand. And we would call it on a 9 of hearts, which is the lowest possible heart you could have in euchre, because you only use half the deck. And still win the hand. Oh, good times, good times.
Straight Sif Mail says, you and J-Kid remind me of me and my old man blood.
Yeah, we are definitely two peas in the pod. And as Bear says, he's probably a little worse than I am. He has a little less filter than I do. If you can imagine that.
Well, yeah, to be fair, mate, you had the experience and grace that I've not developed yet.
Yeah.
Plus the anger management course.
Yeah, that's true. I have mellowed a lot since then. Sirius says, oh man, I love euchre. I'm glad you've heard of it, because euchre is one of those games that you can go from one state to the next. This state's heard of it and they play it a lot, and in the next state they've never heard of it. I mean, here where I live in Indiana is so big that I played it, I guess you would say, semi-professionally. I used to travel around and play in tournaments all the time. But then you go one state away, like in Kentucky, and they're like, "What's euchre? What the heck is that?"
I have no idea what it is, but sounds fun.
It's have you ever heard of pinochle?
No.
Okay. It's a card game. It's trump based. Like I said, you kind of bid, on how many hand tricks that you think you can take. How many? A trick is like one. Everybody lays a card down one round. That's a trick.
Yeah.
But you only use the face cards like king, queen, jack, and then the 10, the 9, and the ace. You don't use the rest of the cards except for the 6s and the 4s, and they're what you keep score with. So, yeah, I love the game. I absolutely love the game. But it's an easy game to learn the rules of, difficult game to master.
Yeah. Oh, well, practice makes perfect and all that. How about Top Trumps? I've not played that in a very, very long time. Years and years and years.
I haven't played euchre in a while, probably since J-Kid got divorced. I think was probably the last time. I'd like to play some. It does sound, and it's more or less, Maddie, it's half of a pinochle deck is what it is. But Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but it's definitely a Midwestern game. The only place outside of the Midwest that I knew of that it was played was in Oklahoma. And that's because there's a lot of people that live in Oklahoma that were originally from the Midwest. So they kind of carried it with them.
Mm.
But yeah, anyway, enough about obscure Midwest American games.
Indeed, indeed. Should we have some of the news that I've managed to grab?
Sure.
I don't know which one to start with. I'm spoiled for choice. Okay, we'll start with this one. We'll start with the Science Times. Condom company releases baby blocker to wipe baby pictures from social media feeds.
Oh.
Just to stop the whamming from their biological clocks getting the better of them, I guess. The condom firm Skin launched a baby blocker to prevent you from seeing adorable pictures of newborns and toddlers on your social media feed. The Chrome plugin will sense images posted on your Facebook account that contains babies automatically. It will then replace the cute images with a different image. Yeah, dead
I
babies.
heard about that this morning on the Bob and Tom show on the radio. You guys might be sensing the theme. I've brought that radio show up a few times during this stream, but I listen to it when I'm out taking my granddaughters to school. And yeah, they were talking about that. I didn't get to hear it all because just as they started into the conversation, my granddaughters come out. And if you all have ever heard the Bob and Tom radio show, it's not fit for children by any means. So, yeah.
In a press release of Skin, the sexual wellness company, what the fuck? Like, well, I want to go to college, so when I leave, I could go work for a sexual wellness company. Jesus H. Christ. Said that the high-profile recent birth could lead to an increase in the number of baby pictures that are posted on social media. The company is referring to the birth of Harry and Meghan's baby boy, Archie Harrison. Everyone shares in the joy of the arrival of a famous baby and relish seeing the images released across social channels. Numerous baby photos are being shared every hour on Facebook, and this is bound to increase over the coming weeks. Sexual wellness company Skin has launched a simple free-to-download Google Chrome extension, allowing people to opt out of the predictable frenzy of baby photos following a much-awaited birth. The baby blocker gives Facebook users the option of blocking baby photos on their feed and replaces them with stillborns. I'm joking. It doesn't really. We want people to enjoy sharing photos of their cute bundles of joy, celebrity or otherwise. On average, parents share 1,500 pictures of their little darlings. Good grief. I mean, back when I used to maintain a proper Facebook account, not the one I have now.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Veebs, we posted pictures of the boys and stuff, you know. We both had our security settings jacked up, so it's not like randos could come see the pictures.
Yeah.
But we didn't have that bloody many.
Well, I get it. You know, some people just aren't interested in seeing your baby pictures, you know, particularly those that don't. Usually it's people that don't have children themselves, but not always. I get it. Did you get fed up with? Now, myself, I love seeing baby pictures. I love seeing the baby pictures because, you know, as grumpy as I am, I love little babies, love little kids. But I mean, I get it. I understand.
Is there an IRL baby blocker? Yeah, they're called condoms. The pill, the morning after pill, the coil. Actually, I'm fairly sure my mother-in-law got round the coil as when she was a wee sperm.
Yeah.
Hi,
yeah, right when BDSM, absolutely. I know who Donnie Baker is. Are you kidding? The Bomb and Tom show originates here in Indianapolis. You may not know that. We actually hear more of it than the rest of you do because during commercials, they will do their local part of it. And then when they come back, it goes, well, international, really, because it plays on Armed Forces Radio and all that. But of course, I know who Donnie Baker is. He actually lives here in Indy as well. And Bear loves Donnie Baker, although he may not recognize the name.
I do recognize the name, but
remember the video I showed you and Misa, as a matter of
oh
fact,
yes, yes,
of the redneck? That's
this
Donnie
means
Baker.
war, Carl.
Yep.
Oh, he's hilarious. That's such a simple concept to do as well as a content creator.
Yep.
Just stand in your garden, just shouting.
Oh, he's been a staple on that radio show since forever, and he does. On my way, I get to hear him call in. He'll pretend he's really there in the studio, but he pretends to call in, and does his bit. But it's pretty funny stuff. Hey, Chaos, good to see you, darling. How you doing?
Sorry to go a little bit off topic there, but yeah, that guy is hilarious, and people should definitely go check him out. It's Donnie Baker, isn't it?
Donnie Baker.
That's Absolutely. It. That's it.
He is the however you say that, quintessential. I can't say it with false teeth. Redneck. He's the ultimate.
What was I going to say now? I can't remember. Fuck! You put me off, old man.
I know.
I remember one of them. I was going to suggest that maybe I should do a mental health live stream on Irate Alex. That way, I could cover maybe getting a few more people on to talk about mental health issues and stuff.
There was a couple of people in chat, Bear, that were talking about they'd be interested in working with you on it.
Yeah, the thing is, guys, is you have to realize, if I bombard the channel with 10, maybe more, like interview videos, where it lasts about 30 minutes, people just won't watch them. People just will not take an interest in them. People just look at it as like it's friggin' spam or something. The channel's not really big enough to bombard it with video after video after video like that at the moment. So it may be best to have a live stream where I have people come on that are willing to do so and have a chat about it.
Thank you, Maddie. Quintessential. It's not easy with false teeth, guys. Trust me.
Oh, and I can't remember the other thing I was going to say.
Well,
God damn it, Bloodwing.
You can just blame it on me.
I will. I
can't stay on topic. Can't keep the format, dadgummit.
We don't have a format.
That is very true. But it seems to work for us.
Yeah, it does. What was I going to say now? It's kind of annoying. Oh, well, bugger it. I have more news.
Alrighty.
If you will have on that stream, I can be a guest. Maddie, I know you're Cuban, but I know you can speak better English than that, darling. I know what you mean, though. And yes, I probably will. Oh, if I do this, maybe I should do it Thursday. No, maybe after Redneck Radio on Thursday. That way I can line people up, maybe. I don't know. I'll think about it. I have more news. Will Smith calls Aladdin remake highlight of his career. Well, you can say that. Probably not for the reasons that he thinks.
All the great movies he's been in, and yes, he's been in some other stinkers too. But of all the great movies he's been in, and he picks that one.
I know, right? I know, Viper. When I saw this headline, I was disgusted. I mean, I think I was more disgusted at him saying this than the actual movie trailer.
I mean, I realize that movie hasn't been released yet, folks, but we've all seen the clips. And there's just a recent trailer that's just come out just in the last few days, and shows some of his work in that. And I'm like, I prefer the cartoon. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'll stick to the cartoon, if I'm honest. I mean, it just looks bad. Yeah. Doesn't it? I'm just going to go, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm just going to go through his filmography.
And I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, How can you follow Robin Williams as the genie? You can't.
6 Degrees of Separation, Bad Boys 1 and 2. They're both great movies.
Yeah.
Independence Day, Enemy of the State.
Yeah, what was the movie where he played a superhero?
Oh, I know what you're on about. Where is it? Before the chat gets it before me. Hancock.
Hancock. I like that one. You know.
A lot of people didn't, but I thought it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad was not a good movie.
But it wasn't necessarily Will's fault. Well, it just wasn't a good movie.
Yeah. Oh, he's been in some bloody good movies.
Yeah. And he's been in some clunkers. Wild Wild West. No thanks.
That's good to watch on a Sunday with the kids, though.
Yeah, unless you're like me and you grew up with the TV show that it was based on.
Well, older kids anyway, not young kids, because there are parts of that movie that get a bit head choppy. Concussion. Yeah, exactly, Dectran. You're right. Concussion was a fantastic movie. And that was based on a true story, wasn't it? That's to do with the NFL CTE scandal, which I'm sure you probably know a lot more about than I do, Budwing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's had some. I Am Legend was a good one. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the original better, but yeah, it was
It's a
not
book,
a
isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
It was not a waste of time. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So all these good things that he's yes, Batman. Jim West is Robert Conrad. Changed my mind. Absolutely. But iRobot, another good one. Yeah.
That's not a bad movie at all. It's not a bad movie at all.
All these good movies that he's been in, and
Ali,
he picks this one.
You know, out of all them, I would have thought that he would have picked Ali.
Yeah.
As probably like his. Well, I mean, the biggest blockbuster out of all these has got to be Independence Day, right?
Yeah. I think he's been hanging around his son, who we all know is out there too much.
It's a bit of a freak.
Yeah, he is.
There was the next Netflix movie Bright that was okay.
I watched it. I put it off for a long time because everybody was panning it. Oh, it's awful. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, it
wasn't as bad as what people were making out to be.
But exactly, I watched it, and it was not a waste of time. I'll put it that way. It was a good way to spend a couple hours. It was okay.
Yeah.
Not gonna go on my top 10, but yeah.
Yeah. I did say Enemy of the State, Chaos Eve. Yeah. That was a good movie. Just looking at the full list, but Aladdin.
Yeah.
Behave.
No, and like I said, seriously, you just can't follow the job that Robin Williams done as the genie with anybody. It's not just Will Smith. I don't think anybody could top that. Nobody could. I mean, that is legendary. It's epic. It's classic. It's all those things you can say about it. Nobody could been done a better job as the genie as Robin Williams did. Just can't.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think he's probably saying that because maybe like Aladdin was a favorite for him.
Right.
I mean, when did Aladdin even come out?
Oh my gosh.
Prince Ali, alias Bawa. Oh God, stop showing me the new one. No, stop showing me the new one. No, stop giving me the 2019.
Deck Train Fred Caliendo as the genie. He does a good Robin Williams, but what he couldn't do is Robin Williams' ability to go off the cuff. And that was one of the greatest thing about Robin. And it's very well known that during the recording of Aladdin, they just turned him loose, which is the best way to handle someone like Robin Williams. Just give him a script. This is basically what we want to do. Now go.
Yeah, I would imagine someone like Will Smith may have idolized Robin Williams, or like been a really big fan of the original, and felt like that he would have been or would play play the character well. And that's the problem, really, isn't it? It's a live action remake without Robin Williams. I don't think that those of us that watched the original, that adored the original, can look at it, you know, without going, oh, it's not the same, you know. Whereas kids that haven't seen the first one, which I'd be quite surprised if there are many of them, but I imagine they'd probably love it. You know, it's bright, it's colorful, it's Will Smith being excitable. You know, it's a new generation, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hope they're coming to the end of this live action stuff. I really do, because it's really not. I haven't seen the numbers, so I can't say whether the others sold well or not, but I can't imagine they did. I don't get the sense that they did from all the flack I've heard about them.
These live action remakes still aren't as bad as the live action version of Sonic. Oh my god. I mean, the Lion King, the new Lion King one. Yeah. I mean, I'm obviously skeptical about it. I'm very happy that James Earl Jones is in it. I would still like to watch it though. I'm skeptical, but I'm not cynical about it, you know.
Yeah, and Push Button, I agree. Yeah, remakes should die in a fire. It's very, very, very rare that a remake even lives up to the original, let alone surpass it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to promote that to a new audience, to a new generation, then re-release the original.
I mean, that's what Disney's been doing anyway for years, isn't it?
Yeah,
just re-releasing it with a new DVD cover and bonus material.
Yeah, if we keep doing remakes, the next Gone with the Wind or the next whatever is not going to happen, because they're just rehashing old stuff.
Mm.
And remakes have been around since there's been film. You know, we often think as the universal version of Frankenstein as being the first. Well, no, it's about the third or fourth. Believe it or not. And Dracula, oh my gosh, it was done to death before Bela Lugosi played the part. So remakes have been around forever, but
yeah. What annoys me is that a lot of these big Disney films, they're a part of my generation. They came out, a lot of these, during the 90s when I was, you know, a kid. I vaguely remember my mom taking me to the cinema to see these movies, and like the first Toy Story movie, right, came out in 1995,
right?
And I felt like they ended the kind of like series, or you know, the trilogy with the last one perfectly. But they're releasing a fourth one, and the thing is I know that they're only doing it because money. Because with something like Toy Story, they get their money from the toys, selling the toys, you know?
Right.
Money hungry whores.
Yeah, Push Button, they did do Death Wish.
Lady and the Tramp live action movie.
And it was kind of meh.
Lilo and Stitch, why? Little Mermaid, okay, I could go for. I'm not mad at that, but Lilo and Stitch and Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, I had heard about Lady and the Tramp,
and that's really old school Lady and the Tramp, isn't it?
Oh, that came out when I was a little kid.
Yeah, it came out 1955.
It was before I was born.
Yeah.
5 years before.
That movie's a bigger boomer than you.
You bet.
Oh wow. What? No, they don't need to remake that. That's gonna look awful.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they make it in the same kind of like style as the other dog movies that have come out in like recent years. What was that bloody dog movie where they're like special agents? I forget what it's called.
Oh, no.
It has like an evil, fluffy white cat that's really sarcastic and British, and I love it.
Well, of course, they always cast the British guys as the bad guy.
Yeah, well, we do make the best bad guys.
Yeah.
Dogs. That's it. Dogs and Cats. It's called. It's called Dogs and Cats. Yeah. That evil white cat in it cracks me up every time because the cats kidnap the family. And the kid realizes that the cat can talk. Going, oh my God, you can talk! I seen it in a comic book, and the cat. I read this in a comic book. I had to, and it cracks me up every time. I want a cat like that. I want an evil, fluffy white cat. I'm gonna buy myself an eye patch. I'm gonna completely bick my head, and I'm gonna buy myself a volcano island. That's what the super chats and Streamlabs have been for this entire time, guys.
Yeah, contribute toward Bear's Volcano Island.
Exactly.
All Dogs Go to
funny.
Heaven. That was a good one. Although that I don't believe that was Disney, was it? But it was a good one.
I do remember that movie, but was it Disney? Oh,
I don't
Dogs
think so.
Go to Heaven. All Dogs Go to Heaven. It's animated, musical fantasy, comedy drama, United Artists and Goldcrest Films.
Yeah. I didn't think it was. Burt
yes,
Reynolds, yes. But no, I didn't think it was Disney.
That's a good film.
Yeah.
Used to freak me out as a kid.
Oh, I've probably mentioned it before. But the movie that used to freak me out the most as a kid, and some of you may find this funny, but I'm telling you, it used to freak the crap out of me as a kid. And that's Wizard of Oz.
That's fair, though.
Oh my gosh, those flying freaking monkeys scared the crap out of me when I was a little kid.
It wasn't that for me. It's just how freaky the Cowardly Lion, the Scarecrow, and the Tin Man looked.
Yeah.
But they may have been friendly as anything, but they this is creepy as anything, really.
Yeah. Yeah, those that well, it was the Wicked Witch, all just in total, but especially the flying monkeys. Just now, as I grew up, it didn't creep me out as bad, but when I was a little kid, yeah.
I kind of want to watch it now.
Yeah, I will revisit it every once in a while. Hold on a second.
Oh, Bloodwing is talking. Bloodwing, a time when corporations weren't scared of scaring kids. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Some of those older Disney films were a bit grim. Bloodwing, are flying monkeys scarier than ranting monkeys? Of course. Imagine. Well, technically speaking, ranting monkey is a flying monkey.
Yeah, but I'm not scared of ranting monkey.
He flies down the stairs.
I'll take him on one arm behind my back. Cripple on cripple.
The chimney sweep scene in Mary Poppins scared my mum when she was a child. My granddad had to take her out of the cinema. She was crying so much. Chimney sweep scene.
Huh. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody that was scared of Mary Poppins.
Yeah. Kind of strange.
Yeah, but hey, what does it for you may not do it for the next person, as far as scare you. Of course, I was awful, and I've always been one of them people that I like being scared. I enjoy it. That's why I love horror movies. Unfortunately, there hasn't been any really, 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 really good. There's been some decent ones, but no really good horror movies. Nothing I would call classic in a lot of years.
Oh, there was that bloody horror movie that was suggested to me to watch, and apparently was like genuinely messed up and quite scary. And I can't remember what it was called now. Hereditary.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to think. I've seen the name, but I'm not.
Dectran slasher movies aren't scary.
No, unless you're talking about the original Halloween, and even 2, although it was a little more over the top. But it's amazing to me how many people swear that the original Halloween was bloody, and they never showed any. Not a single bit.
Yeah, Chaos Eve says that she heard that one was terrifying. Yeah, I've heard good things about Hereditary. And I'd like to give it a watch. I still haven't watched it. I was supposed to watch it, but months ago.
When I was a kid, for many years, for decades, but it was a thing in the States. I don't know about over there where you were at, Bear, but it used to be that every local market would have their own horror movie host. Like late night Friday or Saturday nights, they'd show horror movies, like the old Universal monster movies, the old Hammer flicks, and they'd have a horror host that was usually semi-comedic that would come in between on the commercial breaks and talk and try that. But ours here was named Sammy Terry, take on cemetery. And he was all made up in makeup and would come out of a coffin at the beginning of the show and all that. And I used to beg my mother, 6, 7, 8 years old, please, Mom, let me stay up and watch Nightmare Theater. Let me watch Nightmare Theater, because it wouldn't come on till like 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
And invariably she goes, you'll get scared. And no, I won't, Mom. This will be different. I won't get scared. I won't get scared. Let me watch it. And she would give in, let me watch it. And sure enough, before the night was over, Mom, can I sleep with you?
Knowing about your fears and phobias, Bloodwing.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the movie Arachnophobia?
Dude, when that movie first came out on VHS, because it was VHS in those days, because that movie's been around a while. The guys that I work with kept trying to get me to watch it. Because they knew how scared I was of them. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch it. Don't want to watch it. Finally, one of the guys in parts got it on VHS, brought it in and said, look, here, you keep it till you watch it, but you're going to watch it. I watched it. And is one of the few movies that I watched with every light in the house on and my feet pulled up on the couch because I didn't want them coming out from under the couch at my feet. And the whole time I'm thinking, why am I watching this? Yes, I've seen Arachnophobia.
So you did watch it. Did you ever watch Eight-Legged Freaks?
I did. That one was
like, surely like the CG in that wasn't the best in the world, and it was quite funny.
Yeah, there were humorous parts of that one that did make me laugh. But just seeing the spiders, sometimes that's all it takes for me is to see a spider, and I'm creeped out. I'm totally creeped out. I'm like, when the movie's over and I go to bed, I'm pulling all my blankets off and checking under my pillows for spiders.
Oh.
And when I was a kid, they had those movies, in the 50s and 60s, it was the thing, the giant insect movies.
Yeah.
Because of nuclear. That was a big thing back then. And there were a couple of giant spider movies back then. And did not like those.
Oh yeah, you grew up in a time of monster movies.
Yeah, boy. That was a big part of now the science fiction movie, the horror movies would be shown on Friday night. But here in my local market, they had science fiction theater, which was Saturday afternoon. And that's when you'd see the giant monster movies or even Godzilla and any kind of space movie or anything like that, would be shown.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I spent a lot of time as a kid when we used to have cable and wireless. That was like the first, like, well, one of the first cable things you could get in the UK. But it had like, I don't know, it had like 50 channels and 20 of them worked, I guess. And one of them was a sci-fi channel. And I used to watch the sci-fi channel late on the weekends because they'd always have the Japanese like monster fights show.
yeah,
And you'd have like these, I couldn't understand a word of what was going on. You'd have all these Japanese people surrounding like a table, and then they'd pit Godzilla versus Mothra or something like that. And then they'd have like like the old school models fighting each other like they did in the movies.
right.
And they would fight each other for like 2 or 3 minutes at a time. I used to love that. Used to love it.
Yeah, I mean, I love all those old movies. I love the old. Of course, I love the old Godzilla movies, but I love the old giant insect movies. One of my favorites is one that's called Them. It's about giant ants. And
If the movie Them was released in the year 2019, it would be about a tranny trying to get their pronoun.
their pronouns.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this was about giant ants. I actually a few years ago watched it with my youngest daughter, and she's like, "What did I just watch? That was awful." And I said, "Are you kidding me? That's classic." No appreciation. Yeah,
Well,
it came
I
from
grew up
the
at a time where CGI was still really, really bad. So, like,
yeah. Well,
I can appreciate some of the old monster movies anyway.
you were talking about when cable first moved through your. I remember when cable first moved through here. All you could get was HBO. You got a box that you hooked to your TV, and all it would show is HBO. That's it.
We haven't even got access to HBO in this bloody country.
So yeah, it was quite a while before in my area that we got any choice in channels. It came from the desert. Mystery Science Theater 3000. Yeah, I like Mr. MSTK or 3K rather.
Should we have some actual political news whilst we're here?
Oh, I guess we oughta, so we can call ourselves a proper reaction channel.
Well, what do we call this genre that we
I
inhabit
don't
right now?
know. I just call it. It's what I do.
Because when we first started, it was like the anti-SJW, and prior to that, it was the skeptics. Because back then, skeptic meant being anti-theist, which of course means anti-Christian. Then it kind of went off in different directions, and like people started focusing on news. Then there was of course the blood sports and the drama channels, and like I don't even know what is there even enough of us to call it a genre anymore?
This section of YouTube has morphed several times and changed, and people have gone off and done their own thing, and I'm not an exception. Kind of I'm kind of sticking with the same thing, but doing my own thing as well.
Political and social commentary is probably the best descriptor.
Yeah.
Who is Chaos Eve and someone else said it. Grill and Pirate Pete. Yeah. I hate it when people go, "Oh, I wrote Bear the skeptic." Fuck you! I've never made an anti-theist video.
Never claimed to be a skeptic. As a matter of fact, I very clearly, right at the beginning, come out and said I am not a skeptic.
Yeah.
The Batman to Island Earth, excellent movie. And somebody else mentioned one of my favorite movies of all time. Who was it? I'm looking through here. I just seen it. I'm sorry. I can't find now who said it. But Forbidden Planet. Oh, there it is. Furry Kitten. Yeah, Forbidden Planet. Awesome movie. And if you want to see Leslie Nielsen in a dramatic role, there's a movie that you can catch him in a non-comedic role. Well, not purposely comedic anyway.
Okay, we'll have this little bit of news then. This was sent to me by our good buddy Opal and friend to the Redneck Radio show, Owen Harmon.
Yep.
Who sent it to me on Twitter. My bad, man. I'm sorry it took so long for us to get here. We were just talking about giant spiders and stuff for a bit. So,
yeah.
And KLC puts it perfectly. I mean, I'm skeptical of a lot of things, as we all should be. So I guess I'm a skeptic, but I'm also a Christian. So figure that one out.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the reason why I figure I didn't qualify as a skeptic, because I'm a Christian. So that kind of discounts me, I guess.
You look at some things and you're skeptical of some things and other things.
What I meant by the outlook of the at-large skeptic, quote unquote, community.
Yeah, I know. I was talking in terms of the word, but yeah. To be honest with you, it's more cynicism of anything.
Yeah.
These days, I see so much cancer on Twitter and on the news every damn day. Just, let me die. Trump lauds Hungary's nationalist Prime Minister Orban for tremendous job. Even though I don't think Viktor Orban is doing such a great job, is he? Isn't he?
Mm.
Last time I looked at Hungarian news, there was something about lots of protesting. Not sure if riots were going off. I don't know. Trump tells visiting prime minister, "You're respected all over Europe." Well, maybe with the people, but not other politicians and the mainstream media. Critics attack Orban for eroding democracy and human rights. Yeah, there was something about him eroding their rights in their constitution. I think, if memory serves, it was eroding their free speech. Can't remember. It's a while ago now. Donald Trump showed praise on Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban for a tremendous job, and shrugged off complaints that his White House visit represents a reward for the erosion of democracy in Hungary and Orban's close ties to the Kremlin. Look, right. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. It's kind of expected of him to host foreign dignitaries, foreign leaders. He's had Theresa May over there, and David Cameron. I didn't see anybody whinging about that, and those two were just awful. It's kind of expected, you know. The president, all world leaders host other leaders.
And they can't be particularly picky on who they have. You know, they have to be inclusive.
Yeah, and
different dignitaries.
I can't imagine there have been many visits to the, to go meet the president of the United States, and there's been a situation where the president has decided to turn around and do nothing but criticize them.
Yeah.
Being pleasant, whatever. Sitting alongside Orban in the Oval Office, Trump declared it a great honor to host Orban, who he claimed was highly respected all over Europe, particularly for his anti-immigration policies. But to be fair, he is doing a good job in that respect. So, you're respected all over Europe, probably like me, a little bit controversial. Trump with the understatement there. But that's okay, Trump said. You've done a good job and you've kept your country safe. And to be fair, Viktor Orban has done a good job of, curbing the Islamic invasion. So, Orban said his government and the Trump administration were aligned on some global issues. He said, "I would like to express that we are proud to stand together with the United States on fighting against illegal immigration, on terrorism, and to protect and help Christian communities all around the world." There's nothing well, of course, if you mention Christianity in there, that's going to prompt us a very aggressive response from progressive types. Trump quickly picked up on his visitor's last claim, saying, "You have been great with respect to Christian communities. You have really put a block up, and we appreciate that very much." An apparent reference to the barrier the government has erected along Hungary's border with Serbia and Croatia. The White House said Orban visit was aimed and deepening U.S. re-engagement in Central Europe and negotiating trade in arms and energy. White House readout after the meeting said the two leaders reaffirmed their commitment to the NATO alliance and to their democratic systems of government, which safeguard the freedom and cultivate the prosperity that the United States and Hungary enjoy. I'm not going to read any more, but in fact, I am going to read more, but I'm going to scroll down a little bit. But the administration's critics portrayed Orban's access to the Oval Office as the latest display of Trump's preference for doing business with foreign strongmen, irrespective of their record on civil liberties. Well, I mean, he's not going to like sit there with Hungary's prime minister hammering him with criticism, is he? That would be overstepping, dare I say? Or bad for foreign relations.
Yeah.
He has overseen a rollback of democracy in his country, used anti-Semitic and xenophobic tropes in his political messaging, and cozied up to Vladimir Putin. And the Kremlin, everybody seems to be closing up to Putin these days.
Yeah,
I keep hearing that every controversial figure seems to be cozying up to Putin. Like Putin, must be forking out a lot of money to have all these high-ranking politicians on his payroll. Good grief! It troubles us to see the president of our country, which has historically supported the protection and promotion of democracy and human rights worldwide, meeting with a man who so regularly disregards these values. I don't know on that. I don't know.
yeah.
I have heard that he has been eroding freedoms in his own country. I don't know. I can't say.
Well, here's the thing. There's an old saying that says you attract a lot more flies with honey than you do vinegar.
Yeah.
So it would make more sense to me to do what Trump seems to be doing, in my mind, is focusing on the things that we have in common.
Oh, I agree with you, Michael. I completely agree with you. I'm just looking at it from the perspective of the media attacking Trump for it.
Right.
You know, because they're coming at it from a perspective of, why is Trump doing this? Orban's a monster. It's usually they're calling Trump a monster. I mean, that was the Guardian.
But focus on the things that you have in common, get a relationship and a dialogue going. Then you can work on the things, like maybe getting this Orban guy to back off, restricting his country's freedom and so forth.
Yeah. I mean, I did see some stuff about that. I can't remember. I'm sorry, guys. I've got a brain like a colander. I did see some articles back a while ago that were genuinely trustworthy, not from the Guardian, obviously. Trump he's the president of the United States. One of his jobs is to host other world leaders. I mean, I hate Theresa May. British prime ministers have been rolling back our freedoms for quite some time now. And the president met up with her, holding her hand, looking as if they were about to skip down the side of the White House. No, it's what world leaders do. Even our Queen hosts dignitaries from Saudi Arabia, and they're monsters. We're very much aware of their human rights abuses. It's just something that they do, man. Other world leaders aren't as good as ours, and we have to maintain certain relations, So I expect Trump to cause a foreign incident. International fucking incident there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you want to exact change in these places that you don't like, the best way to do it is to strike up a relationship and work from the inside. Yeah, open dialogue, and these things take time. They're not going to happen overnight.
Yeah. And I guarantee that they must have had a conversation. They must have had a moment where they were talking in private.
Mm-hmm.
That the media, nobody saw. We don't know what was said.
Yeah, well, you know,
But
we're not surprised though.
Yeah, of course. I'm surprised they weren't like full on attacking Trump in that article.
Yeah.
I mean, it's from The Guardian. Very, very surprised that they weren't just straight up attacking him directly. They were much more like attacking Viktor Orban, but I don't know. It's something I'll have to look into.
Yep.
Don't have enough time. Don't have enough minutes left of the live stream to look into. We have about 5 minutes left.
Yep.
Do you have a story to tell us today, Bloodwing?
I do not. I was so busy today. I was lucky to be able to get the stream up on time.
Okay then. Well, should we have 5 minutes of questions?
Absolutely. Questions? Anybody? Questions?
Oh yeah, there was that one I grabbed and took a screenshot of before we started the stream, and that was a transgender powerlifting champion stripped of women's division titles for being actually a male during competitions. Which I'll share in the chat. We won't go into that now. We haven't got time, but yeah. And of course, there was the Jeremy Kyle thing I did have, but we'll have to save that for another day now.
Yeah.
Did your sound just change, or did my ears just pop? I have an omnidirectional microphone, and I move a lot when I can't sit still. Just bear that in mind. And,
also, I was just packing my cigarette, so you may have heard that too.
Yeah. Any questions?
Not so far. Come on, guys. You can't tell me you know everything you want to know about Bear or I.
They probably know too much about me, to be honest.
Well, I try not to overshare. I'm not a millennial. Chaos. I love you, Chaos. You're all right.
Thoughts, Bear? Just make trans division. Oh yeah, I've always said that. Just give them their own bloody division to do battle in. All right, Bear, you're about to get into a fist fight. What song comes on in your head? Always look on the bright side of life. No, I would hope it's a metal song to get me, to
get your blood going. Good one would be what was it? 3 Days Grace. Let's Start a Riot.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. Arabette, why do you put up with Drunken Sinatra? Is it like a military giving you shit thing? It's banter, mate. It's banter.
Yeah.
Arabette, there aren't enough trans competitors to do that, to be honest. Yeah, I know they are a minority. I'm very much aware. Yeah, babe.
No.
What's the matter?
When you're done on there, can you tell them to attitude ignoring me?
All right, I'm still streaming though.
Yeah, I said when you're done.
Tap keyboard. That's me typing. Sorry, my bad.
No problem. This is your Bloodwing. You're a club DJ. What's your DJ name? Well, DJ Papo, of course.
All right, Bear, what keyboard do you use? Oh, I need to replace it. Some of the keys are melted from smoking. Yeah. What brand is this? It's a Zalman brand.
Grillin' Pirate Pete, Bloodwing, do you go to any dirt tracks? There is one near me that I frequently go to. Actually, I haven't in a while because I just couldn't stand to sit and watch a whole race. But there's plenty of dirt tracks around. If you don't know anything about Indiana, trust me, we're as nuts about car racing as the southern states. I've always said that Indiana should have been below the Mason-Dixon line instead of above it because it's more southern than it is north. But yeah, there's a lot of dirt tracks around me.
Somebody clip that.
Amanda, yeah. Okay. We're just about.
Oh, you have a super chat.
I do. Cryptic, why are you gay? I don't know, because I'm just always happy. See, gay used to mean happy all the time. See, use the old definition.
Schmeckle's just seen the British police taking someone's tools, and he's gone, "Holy shit, Bear, don't you ever talk about Canada again." I went, "Shut up, Snowback."
Yeah, I seen that tweet, that picture. They just literally just raided somebody's toolbox. I'm
Yeah.
Like, really? How are pliers or a wood file is a weapon?
You could file someone to death.
I guess
I guess you could hit them with it, like slap them, like clonk them on the head with the top edge bit of it. You know, it has two edges on the top with its rectangular shape. You clock them on the head with that. I mean, I don't think that these people stabbing each other in London are using files to do it. I think they're using knives.
Yeah,
and in some case, friggin' swords.
They might use a file to sharpen a knife.
In the UK, everything's a weapon. Yeah, I know, right?
But pliers, like needle nose pliers, was laying on that table. I'm like, what? Yeah, that's a dangerous weapon. Watching, folks.
Why is that tweet resurfacing? It happened last year. I'm fairly sure. I think you might be getting it mixed with a different one. This isn't the first time that police in London have taken things off of. When was this tweeted? Oh shit! It was last year. None of us bothered to look at the date.
Zombie Teddy, is the Indy track still hosting the F1 races? I think so. Push button. What's the strangest place you ever took a dump? Oh, good Lord. Behind a fast food restaurant? It's the only thing that it's coming to mind. I try not to. I'm very private about my bathroom habits, so I try not to go in strange places.
Yeah, I like to be comfortable, and I feel like I'm safe when I'm having a poo. You know,
Yeah.
Like go for a piss. Yeah, do it anywhere. But a poo, nah, I can't do it, man. And I need to be in a safe space to do it. There's one where they showed garden tools. Yeah, that's the Metropolitan Police one, and I commented on it last year. That comment has been getting likes the past few days. Hey, I guess it's just resurfaced. Yeah, I guess some people just didn't see it, and it ended up in people's timelines and whatevs.
Yeah. Bandsman says F1 stopped racing in India a while ago. Just shows you how much I follow F1, because I don't. But anyway, we're now 3 minutes past, according to my clock.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So we are at the end of it, folks. Thank you, chat, for coming out, supporting the stream with your presence. You honor me with your presence. Thank you, those that have give donations. I promise you they will go to really good use, and I certainly appreciate it. As always, thank you, Bear, for coming out. Anything you want to shill?
Yes, I'm just about to put the link for the latest video on Irate Alex. It is one of several videos that will be coming out this week regarding hashtag Mental Health Awareness Week. Our good buddy pal, Mr. James Colley, approached me today offering to tell his personal story about his own experiences, and if I thought he was very, very brave to come forward and request to sit on my platform and talk about his abuse and how he dealt with these subsequent his mind's reaction to that and how he was able to treat himself. It's a very inspiring story. It is a long one, guys, but it's linked to the chat there. Please go give it a watch. Please listen to the entire thing. The video is not monetized, so I won't benefit from it, anything like that. Go check it out. Please leave a nice comment. Go follow him on Twitter as well. I've linked him in the description as well. The guy is awesome. So yeah, cheers.
Yeah,
Guys.
there you go, folks. Go check it out. No excuses. Don't want to hear them. And anyway, again, thanks to everybody. But as always, get out of my yard.
Bye, guys.